Mr. Fitzy and Amelia's drawing show. Bust out your crayons, come on, let's go. Mr. Fitzy and Amelia's drawing show. Time to let your imagination flow. Get ready, get set, let's go, go, go.
Hi, welcome to the Mr. Fitzy and Amelia drawing show. You may be wondering, who's that? Or you may have read, what's our lesson for today?
Origami.
By
Me. Ellie.
Ellie. This is Ellie. Ellie is my other daughter. She's also my stepdaughter. And from time to time, she goes to her dad's house and that family. So when we're all staying at home, that can provide different kind of challenges. But the other thing about Ellie is that she is going to be joining us from time to time as another co-host on the Mr. Fitzy and Amelia Drawing Show. And she's a wonderful artist, and she's in high school, and she's also taken some teaching classes. So she's an awesome teacher. She teaches preschool at her school when she's in those classes. And she's also an expert at something that I am not an expert at. I've been teaching 26 years, and a lot of times, well, there have been times I've tried, but a lot of times people will ask me, let's do origami. You know origami, right? You're an art teacher. And I have to tell them, I'm not very good at origami because I haven't practiced. So we have the perfect person to teach us in Ellie. And I'm going to hand it over to her, and she's going to start. And I think one of the things that we could start with is talking about some of the wonderful origami she's made. So let's see. What do you want to start with? All right. How about this guy? Cat, right?
Yeah, this is a cat.
Tell us about the cat.
So I have a daily origami calendar that I got for Christmas, and it's amazing because each day I have a new thing to make out of origami. So what I did for this one is I made the head separately from the body, and then I had to attach them. So this is like a two-part of this. It's pretty big. Yeah, this is a cat. As you can see, it doesn't look entirely like a cat. Origami never looks entirely like the thing it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to look close enough.
Yes, they're very geometric. They're regular shapes. So an actual cat, you might make a circle like we did yesterday for Crystal, our cat, which, by the way, is Ellie's cat. And shout out to Matt. Well, we'll give you that in a minute. But we on our Instagram we had a name our unicorn. So when Amelia comes in, she's going to reveal the name of the winner, and it was Matt, Ellie's dad, who came up with that name. So I won't tell the name. No hints, no spoilers. You know Amelia. So yes, instead we're using, what is that? A hexagon? Is basically that cat's head shape.
Yeah, 6 sides, so it's a hexagon.
And there's lots of math in art and lots of math in origami. So, okay, now let's go look at all these guys. These are elephants, and they came to us from our very good friends, the Gambrels, and they live in Kentucky. Now, when Amelia was young, she had meningitis. She was sick for almost a month in the hospital. Very scary. Right after she was born. And I think it was to celebrate the 100 days of her being alive. And she was out of the hospital by that time. We had a big party for her, and the Gambrels, David, folded these elephants. So he made 100 of them. And you can see in all these different colors. Now, let me ask you about some more of these. How about this one?
This is a 4-leaf clover I made for St. Patrick's Day a couple of days ago.
Nice.
So what I did is I made 4 hearts, origami hearts, and I taped them together. for this one. So that one was kind of one I invented by myself. I didn't follow a tutorial to make a clover.
I didn't even know that. That is really very skillful when an artist has that kind of skills. I did know that you were very good at origami. How about this one?
This is a hamster from my daily origami calendar. Amelia says it looks a bit more like a bear, but it can be whatever we want it to be.
Excellent.
He's cute.
Okay. Now, I'm going to put all these off to the side so that when we start our lesson, we'll have room to see. But this one you were just showing me today, this is really cool.
This is one of my favorites. I love these. Because this type of origami, this moves. So what it does is this transforms. So then it looks like this.
Wow.
And then you can...
And is that an octagon? How fast am I counting up my sides?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, octagon, 8 sides.
Yeah. I wonder what it would be like if all of our stop signs would transform like that. Maybe solar power.
Ooh, that would get people to notice them.
Yeah, it would get people to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this little guy?
This is a bird. In origami, there's lots of different birds. It's one thing that you'll see often in origami is that there's tons of different tutorials to make different types of birds. This is one type of bird right here. And you can see his wings are at an angle, like that. He looks ready to fly.
Awesome. Now, what was this one?
This was, this is supposed to be a card. This was for my daily origami calendar. And in the inside, that white shape is supposed to be a puppy. Though sometimes origami is geometric and looks so far from what it's supposed to be that people have a hard time telling what it is. And this is one of the ones that's a bit odd or different. But it's definitely interesting to see.
I noticed this one right away.
Ooh, you know what this one is? This is a mushroom. I like this. This is a very cute little fat mushroom.
How about these guys?
Let's see. These are, look at how tiny these are. This is probably one of my smallest origami. These are little 3D stars that Amelia found in one of my origami books. And she's like, make these, make these. But they're just these little 3D stars that are fun because you can make them, you can color the piece of paper and make them whatever color you want. And then fold them.
Okay. Here's a different style of elephant. Elephant's my favorite animal.
Yeah, here we go. Here we have a pink little elephant that definitely looks different. You can see that there's not just one way to make an origami elephant. There's multiple ways. Like this one looks much different than this one, right?
Yes. We've got the whole elephant in that second one. And that one kind of, you just have the body and the head. The legs aren't really on there so much, or the tail. Ooh. I love this one. I know kids love this kind of stuff.
This is a little pocket. This is an envelope. So you can put stuff in there. And it has like secret notes or something in here.
Now, how long have you been working on origami?
I'm trying to remember, but several years. Lately, since I got this daily origami calendar for Christmas, I've been getting like really into it lately, especially now that we're at home most of the time and I have much more time. I've been making lots of origami this week. But definitely several years I've liked origami and I just...
Well, this is one area that I can help out. You've been working on origami for at least as long as Amelia's been around, since we got these 7 years ago. So I really want to stress that you are an expert at origami. You might not think that you are, but for those of us who get intimidated and a little frustrated as this process unfolds, it's really important to remember that it takes a lot of practice, okay? And we're not going to start with something that's too hard today, I hope.
Yeah.
All right. And,
Today I have...
Fox?
Yeah, it's a fox. Good guess.
Yes.
What I like playing with Amelia is guess this origami I made. Try to figure out what it is, because some of them are kind of silly. But this one is a little cute little fox. So you can see his pointed ears and his little snout there, his tail.
Okay, this one is really a new one and a really nice special one that I wanted to talk about because it has an effect on our daily lives.
This is a piano, and I made the normal origami, and then I colored it to make it even look more like a piano. I colored the keys on there.
And who's that for?
I made this for our piano teacher, Miss Megan.
Yeah, and as we scramble about to figure out how to continue with our lessons and our schools and our activities, we're probably going to be doing piano virtually, our lessons, for a little while. And from time to time, it just is going to happen. It's the world that we live in. And so I think that is a wonderful, wonderful gift of art. And that's what we can give to our families, our teachers, our friends, our helpers all around the world. And so I think that's just beautiful. So she's going to love it, whether we give it to her virtually or in person soon. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to take a second and clear these things off. And I'm going to invite Amelia over to come on in. And I'll be back in 1 second. And then Ellie is going to get us making our first origami today. And hopefully mine works out.
Yeah, one thing you have to keep in mind with origami is that it can be frustrating. It can be difficult if it doesn't work out. And I found myself, I'll try to do a piece of origami. And I'm like, what? This doesn't look like the picture. What does the instructions say? It seems so confusing. And I get frustrated. But you have to remember is that it might not turn out perfectly, but if you can get it close, that's all that matters. You gotta enjoy the process, take a deep breath, and just not get frustrated and just take it for what it is. Okay. Hang on a minute. So first,
There she is!
Oh.
Welcome back, Amelia. We've been having fun, so let's leave it. Let's take it away, Ellie. Before we start, I have a question for you about paper. I know a lot of the Mr. Fitzy and Amelia drawing show fans are saying, I don't have this fancy, expensive origami paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that makes origami paper special is that it's a perfect square. And as we know, squares are the same length on every side. But there are other ways you can get a piece of paper that's a perfect square.
And it's thinner. It's thin.
It's a pretty thin, but I've had origami paper that's a bit thicker, and it doesn't quite matter. You don't want it to be super thick, but normal paper works just as fine. It's a bit thicker, but it's perfectly fine. If you don't have special origami paper, you can use a sticky note, because these sticky notes, like these, are perfectly square. And it'll just be a bit smaller, which can be cute if you have like something a bit smaller. But if you don't have origami paper and you don't have sticky notes, you can make your own square piece of paper from a piece of lined notebook paper like this, or from printer paper, or some colored paper you might have around your house. What you want to do for that is you want to fold the corner up here nice and even, and you're just going to cut out along these lines right here, and what you're left with is a perfect square, and you can use that to fold. And you might be thinking, well, this isn't colorful, it's kind of boring, but you can take this opportunity and you can color it with markers or crayons and make it colorful. You can draw whatever you want on it.
And where does origami come from?
Japan. This is a form of Japanese art.
Yes. And we told them, we didn't tell them the name, but we told them that from our Instagram contest of Name That Unicorn, an origami beard, Matt, Ellie's dad, was the winner. And Steve. My unicorn is named Steve.
That's the one.
Thank you, Matt.
That's the one Amelia decided she liked the best.
Steve.
And there were lots of good entries. Jelly bean and
Pebbles.
I liked Pebbles. But there can only be one winner, and the winner is
Matt.
Steve and Matt. Okay, now on to our. What are we making again?
Okay, we are going to be making a butterfly today because it's slowly becoming spring. It's not quite looking spring-like out there yet, but we're getting there. And butterflies are one beautiful part of spring. So we're going to be making a butterfly like this, but a bit bigger. That's what I made out of these sticky notes, because you can see the size that you'll make of a butterfly out of sticky notes. So ours will be a bit bigger since we're using a bigger piece of paper. And I like butterflies because they're pretty simple to do. Besides your piece of square paper, you'll also need scissors to cut the wings to make them curved like this. But if you don't have scissors, you can just leave them pointy, and they'll be like pointy, like a special different type of butterfly. Okay, let's get started.
Okay. First.
Yep. Remember, you got to follow along with the teacher. Today, Ellie's the teacher.
Okay, so what we want to do, now, when you're making folds with origami, you want to try to be as careful and precise as possible. But if it's not perfect, don't worry, it'll still turn out. So what we're going to first do is we're going to fold our piece of origami paper so that these corners match up right here, and we would diagonal fold along our piece of paper. Now try to match those pointy corners up as best as possible and make a nice crease, so it lays flat there by dragging your finger along the edge.
Yeah, and you can hold the two corners together. I don't know origami, but I have learned about folding. Can you hand me a crayon? In China, where they invented paper, they would sometimes use a folding bone. So you hold the tooth where you're going to hold it, and then you can press it down. It might be easier to start with your fingers to get it settled. And then you can use a crayon or your hand to really make a good fold. And what if you get a little bit off? What do you do then?
You can try again if you want and make just a slightly different fold, but if it's not absolutely perfect, that's totally fine. Like, I can see a little bit of white peek around the edge right here at my tip, but that'll be fine. The butterfly will still turn out. So, once you have it folded like this, and it looks like a triangle, right? I think this is an isosceles triangle.
Ooh, look at that math. Very nice.
Isosceles means that these two sides right here are the same length. And these two angles are the same degree, but maybe that's getting a bit complicated.
No, it's not. We're doing e-learning here.
E-learning, okay, we got shapes. Okay, so then you're going to unfold it. So we're back to square. Unfold it, because we're going to need these creases later. So we're going to make another crease, another line, another fold. This one, we're going to make another diagonal fold, like this one, but we're going to be making it go in the opposite direction. So fold and have those other tips match. Yeah, there we go.
Crayon.
Mr. Fitzy needs his art glasses for close-up detail work. As you get older, people say you need reading glasses. I call them drawing glasses, but...
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Fitzy. I have reading glasses. I'm not
That's
old.
true. Sometimes when you're younger, too.
And unfold.
And unfold, yes. You're right. Okay, we're going to, before we start making this actually look like a butterfly, we have one more fold to make. Can we guess what that fold's going to be?
In half the other way?
In half, but this one's going to be horizontal. It's going to be going this way.
Okay.
So let's fold it up so that we have, fold it hot dog style, we could say. Make sure those, now we have two corners that we have to match.
Yeah, since it's a square, there is no hot dog or hamburger way.
I guess.
No matter which way you
There
fold it.
is a hot dog and a hamburger.
Well, whichever way you fold it, it's going to wind up the hot dog way.
It does kind of look like a hot dog, yeah. But either way you make it, it's gonna look like a hot dog bowl. Let's see. I'm gonna look at that. This one corner wasn't exactly perfect, so I'm gonna fix it a little bit, refold it.
Done.
Okay. So now, if we unfold our piece of paper, we have three creases in it. So now
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
So what we want to do, so
1,
point,
2.
You can count them up.
we made
1,
3
2, 3,
folds.
4,
So we have
5,
3
6,
big
7,
ones.
8.
8. Wait. Yeah, that's
6.
right.
We have 6
Yeah.
folds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's now 6 triangular shapes.
No, 7.
Are you trying
1,
to count the
2,
triangles
3,
or
4,
trying to count
5,
the lines?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Okay, we have 6 triangles on this piece of paper made by these folds. Okay, so now, hang on with me. This is the most difficult part, but you guys can do it. So with the color side up, we're going to take those diagonal folds and kind of try to pinch them up. And then we want that horizontal fold to
How
go
do you do
in.
that? I need help.
So what we're going to do, here, let me show you. Watch what I'm going to do first. It might help. We're going to kind of pinch these diagonal folds, and we want that horizontal one to go in. And then we're going to sandwich it a bit, like this. This is the most, so then it's like this, and we have like 4 little flappy doos. Okay.
It's an art fair origami. No,
Oh, look, it
not
looks
a
like a
tent.
tent.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to make these pinch these diagonal folds right here. Pinch. Yeah. Perfect. Whoa, not that hard. But you don't want to hurt it. We want to be gentle with our paper. And then look, push these sides in. No, push these sides in, Amelia. No, Amelia, careful. And then flatten it out like this. There we go. Do you have it, Mr. Fitzy? Do you need help?
I think I got it. Does that look good?
Wait, you're not quite there. There we go. Smush that. Smush it like that against the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I think this episode of Mr. Fitzy and Amelia Drawing Show needs help from older brothers or sisters or your adults.
Yeah,
Right?
so what we
It's a
just
tricky one. We're getting there. Okay.
So what we just did is we pinched these diagonal folds and pushed the horizontal fold on the sides in.
Kind of looks like
And then
streaks.
smushed it like this. So now we have a triangle, but we have 2 flaps on each side for our triangle.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, this is amazing. I've never made anything like this. You are an excellent teacher.
Thank you. Okay, so no. Okay. So now what we're going to do with our triangle is that we're going to fold this in half. So we're going to fold it in half. Try to line up those tips, and you want to make sure that your crease that we're making in the center here is perfectly lined up. You see that? How it's perfectly goes straight to the middle of the tip. No, you got it. You just need to put it on the table and smush it. Smush that fold a bit. Yeah,
She's
you wanna
doing better than doing
press
it. She's
that
helping you.
fold.
You're using a folding bone crayon.
Yeah,
That
okay.
works.
So this is the part where you're going to need your scissors. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the corner of our isosceles triangle. We're going to take the corner that has all the flaps. We'll have 4 little flappy things here.
Count them up. You got 4?
You have 4?
1,
Find the side of 4.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 4.
That's the side. Okay, so point that side up towards the ceiling. And we're going to cut this tip off to make it rounded.
Whoop, whoop.
Because we want our butterfly
Let her do it
wings
first
to
before
be
you do it.
round. Because most
Hold on. Hold on.
butterfly wings are rounded.
I want to.
Okay, which way are you holding it? Slow it down a second.
The side with the tips up with all of the 4 little flaps.
Okay.
No.
Side with the 4 little flaps up. Got it.
Hold that side up, and that's the side that we're gonna cut in a curve. You can take a crayon if you want and draw your curve
Ooh, that's a good idea.
on here to help guide your cutting.
All right.
So we want to do something a bit like that, a curve like that, if you see. Or if
And you can color.
Or you could color it, yeah.
I did mine like a little mountain.
Yeah, you can make yours different to make your butterfly unique. We love unique butterflies because there's many different types of butterflies, and they all look.
There's monarch. There's pink lady.
How do you?
Wait, isn't that a
yeah,
ladybug?
I think that might be a type of apple. I think there's a pink lady apple. It might be a butterfly
I
as
don't
well.
think that's a butterfly. I did research on butterflies, but I was naming an apple.
That's okay.
Okay.
So now we're gonna cut.
Oh, how do you catch a unique butterfly?
What? How?
Unique up on him. Dad joke, sorry.
Oh, Mr. Fitzy.
That joke.
Okay, so we're gonna cut that curve so then we have this one side rounded. And make sure to throw away your scraps. We're not gonna throw them away right now, but we're gonna throw them away after the show. We don't want to leave them.
Always clean up your studio after your art making.
Okay. That's good, Amelia. No, not that side.
I want to cut like
No, hold on a second.
No.
Don't cut ahead. I need to cut mine.
We're not making snowflakes.
I want to make a butterfly that kind of looks like a snowflake.
Well,
snowflake
let's get that
butterfly.
after. Let's follow along with the teacher.
So I like your
Oh,
ideas.
Hold on, Amelia.
I want to just put it down.
Oh, she needs the scissors for the next step, right?
Do you?
No.
Oh.
No.
All right,
Okay,
well,
so
then let's
now-
keep it folding. All right.
We're gonna
Thank you.
unfold it, and make sure you unfold it so that we have two flaps on either side. We don't want. So you're gonna unfold it like this, and we have two flaps on either side. So it looks like that.
It kind of looks like a heart, but not look like that.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, laying this on the table again, we're going to take one flap, the top flap, not both of them, but the top flap, and we're gonna fold it so that this edge right here meets this crease in the middle. So we're gonna fold it down like that. So we folded this side down like this against that. Now fold it down like this. Now we want this side edge to meet here, this crease in the middle, Mr. Fitzy. Yeah, so this top edge right here of this little flap is going to meet our crease in the middle. Perfect, so it's like a fold at a 90-degree. There you go, you got it.
That's a little tricky. I got it.
And then you do the other side the same way.
So
Yeah.
this top
And then
edge
it's a butterfly.
meets the middle.
Stop it. Yeah. So then you're going to do the same thing that you did on this side with the other side. Amelia's a step ahead of us. We're going to fold it down to make this. Like,
Oh, hang on.
just
hang on.
how you fold down the
Wait to
sides
the
of
end.
a,
Wait
of
to
a
the
piece
end.
of
If you
paper
want
to
to
make
do
a
extra
paper
cutting,
airplane.
wait to the end. Let's get you a butterfly first.
Okay. So now we fold it down. So now it looks,
I want
it
that.
looks, yeah.
Some sort like
It
a
looks
butterfly.
pretty much like a butterfly, but we have one more fold to do. So now you have this down here like you. So now we're going to flip it down so that the wings face down. So facing up, it just looks like this. This is the back side. So we're going to flip it over, yeah.
It
This is
doesn't just-
amazing. I
And-
never dreamed that I could do such wonderful origami.
And we're going to take this pointy part right here, and
I
we're
already
going
did
to
it.
fold it
I was guessing
up
She's ahead of me again.
right.
and then crease it. So we folded this little pointy tip. We folded the pointy tip
I'm head of
Up to the
everything.
top?
up to the very top.
Okay.
And then we're
Up
going
to
to
the very
crease
top.
that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you got it.
What?
Yeah, there you go. And then you're gonna flip it around like this, and then you want to fold it in half a little bit because the butterfly's wings like to go up like this, right?
Yeah.
Especially when they land, they go up. So we're gonna make it go a bit
It's
like
gonna
this. so
land
its
on the
wings
crayon.
are at an angle. And there we go.
Wait,
No.
is mine right?
You unfolded this part. Yeah, this is the thing we folded on the back. I'm gonna fold it up. And then fold it a bit like this so its wings stand up. There you go.
And who is going to clean up all the scraps?
We all are. We all clean up together.
Yep. It's part of art.
That's one of my expectations for the art room.
I'm not doing it.
We'll talk. You're
do.
already doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Here, come on back in, Amelia. We got to say thank you for joining us on the Mr. Fitzy Painting Show. And then when you go to pause it, give our big out. What are you going to tell for tomorrow, the message? Oh, a little bit about that. Each weekday, we're going to make a show. So tomorrow's Saturday. So if you need to catch up on any from this week, Saturday and Sunday is your time for that. And then next week is our spring break, but we're still going to make them. Okay?
No! Today was the start of my spring break.
Okay, there you go. So pause it up, Amelia, and tell them the secret message for tomorrow.
What is that?
It's up to you. Tell them.
We'll see you on Monday.
See you on Monday.
What? I can't make a funny face?
Steve.
Mr. Fitzy and Amelia's drawing show. Bust out your crayons, come on, let's go. Mr. Fitzy and Amelia's drawing show. Time to let your imagination flow. Get ready, get set, let's go, go, go.